What did I tell you, mofos? What did I tell you? Yes. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, yes. I'm going to be talking my big dog talk today. We're going to be talking about them Clippers. Make sure y'all come on in. We're going to have a fun show today. Make sure y'all come in and check in and let us know where you're coming in from. We got a hell of a show for you guys today. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for all of the people that was talking all that trash. I cannot wait. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit the like button and check in and let me know where y'all are coming in from. Let me just send this out real quick. I cannot wait. Let us do it. Yes. How about them Clippers? How about them Clippers? Let me just put this up right here. Let me get the box score ready. I got to get the box score ready for the haters. So let me just get this ready real quick. Make sure y'all check in. Let's go. Yes. Hold up. Make sure, let's check in. Nah, because they was talking. So we're going to talk that talk today. Let me give it like another 2 minutes. I know people are catching up to the live. Yeah, Luka owns who? Luka owns who? Who exactly does Luka Doncic own? Oh, I'm going to be talking my big dog talk today. Somebody said Mongo Slades. Yo, that's funny. Hold on, let me see real quick. Yes. Make sure y'all check in. Let me get my notes for whatever reason is not up here. This is one of the first times I'm actually doing notes for live. Make sure y'all check in. Let me shout you guys out. Let's give it like another minute. We got people coming through the door here. Let me see where y'all are coming in from. Let me see. Somebody said Mongo Slades are okay. Yo, shout out to Too Raw Media. Too Raw, why you call him Mongo Slade, man? I want to know the reason why you call him that. Seattle, Zubac was a beast. We're going to get into all of that. Shout out to Puerto Rico. Shout out to Greece. What else we got? Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. Who else we got? You better believe. Oh, I'm going to talk my talk today. Yesterday, I was celebrating the Lakers losing, but today we're going to celebrate the Clippers winning. Shout out to Fort Worth, Maryland. Shout out to Washington, D.C., the hometown. Shout out to PG County. Wow. Guyana, Birmingham, Alabama, Brooklyn, Houston, Texas. Shout out to Houston, Texas, Lexington. Where else we got? Shout out to Philadelphia, Toronto, Canada, Brooklyn, Los Angeles. Shout out to LA. Shout out to Jamaica. Let's give it like another 40 seconds. This will allow everybody to catch up to this live because I'm going to go off. Shout out to Trinidad, Chicago. What we got? Shout out to, what else we got? Kentucky, Palestine, Tennessee, New York, Ivory Coast, Ghana, India. Shout out to India, ATL. Shout out to ATL. Let's give it another 30 seconds. Let me shout y'all out. Shout out to Too Raw in Richmond. Baltimore was good. Panama, LA, New York was good. Buffalo. Shout out to Buffalo. New York, man. I'm bumping that. What's the name of this album, man? By Benny the Butcher. Is one of my favorite albums out right now. What's the name of that album from Buffalo? It's Everybody Can't Go. I love that album. Okay, Milwaukee. So before we get into this live, we got a survey that we got pinned at the top. I want you guys to fill that out a little bit later. We're giving out $30, $10 Amazon gift cards. So all you got to do is fill it out, take you a few minutes, and potentially win $30. We're going to be announcing the winner in the next 2-3 weeks. Shout out to Louisiana. Stephen A. Kendrick. Oh, I'm going to get to all of them. Let me get into the show let me get into the show right now. Make sure y'all hit the likes and while everybody's coming through the door. Let me get into the show right now. Shout out to Portugal and Accra. I got all my notes right here. All I heard people say was Luka Doncic is going to dominate the Clippers. They're going to give the Clippers that work. We put up a poll on our channel. 60% of the people who voted on that poll, everybody was talking about the Dallas Mavericks. Let me see the neon frequency. The thing that makes me the most upset is that the fact they act like the Clippers aren't deeper than just Kawhi. This is a huge statement. Clippers in 5, baby. Shout out to you. Appreciate the super chat. So everybody was talking all of that trash. I spent the entire week trying to produce shows about Kawhi Leonard's status. Then right before the playoffs started on Friday, Skip Bayless went on Undisputed and said he heard that Kawhi Leonard will miss game 1, but he will be available for game 2. So this afternoon, getting ready for this game, I look up at the clock, on Instagram, and I see Kawhi Leonard is not playing. And I was like, okay. Now, let me give you guys a little bit of insight real quick before I get into the show. Shout out to the 400 people in the chat. I was following Ty Lue all throughout this week, over the past 2 weeks. And Ty Lue kept on talking about his eagerness to play the Dallas Mavericks. He's like, let's get the series started. Let's get the series started. Let's get it started. We're ready. We're ready. And I'm like, yo, hold up. Why is Ty Lue so confident about going up against the Dallas Mavericks? Because every time you turn on the media on TV, all you hear is how Dallas is going to destroy the Clippers, how Luka Doncic owns the Clippers. Luka is the Clippers' daddy. Luka and these guys are going to destroy the Clippers. Oh my God, it's a wrap. So I was saying to myself, why is Ty Lue so confident? Really, I was wondering, and it made me begin to think, does Ty Lue know something that we don't know? So going into that game, I think I read one of the comments from one of our viewers, and he said the Clippers are going to win game 1. One of our viewers said this. I read the comment. He said, expect the Clippers to win game 1. And then I remembered, hold up. This is the same Clippers team that just beat the Denver Nuggets without Kawhi Leonard. I think it was like a 2-point win. This is the same Clippers team that's being coached by Ty Lue that is one of the deepest teams in the NBA. You got Amir Kofi, you got Paul George, you got James Harden, who I'm going to get to in a minute. Mongo Slade, to quote Two Raw Media. You got Russell Westbrook. You got all of these dudes. You got, what is his name? Norman Powell. You got Ivica Zubac, who was a monster from tip-off. And we're going to get to that a little bit later. We got all of these people. And as the game started, I was about maybe 30 seconds late to starting the game. As I was watching the Clippers play, I said to myself, I think the Clippers are going to win this game. Now, let me get into my notes. Let me start off with Luka Doncic, because I had to sit up here and listen to all you dudes running up and down, twerking it up all over the place, knocking drinks over, slapping each other with all type of Dallas barbecue. Oh, y'all ain't know I had that one in my pocket, did you? You thought I was going to say honey. Y'all was running around, slapping each other with Dallas barbecue, thinking y'all was about to barbecue the Clippers, and then y'all messed around and found out that the Clippers were a good team. All I heard was that Luka was going to dominate the Clippers. Let me go to the box score real quick, because I'm going to talk my talk this night, because if the Clippers are lost, I know y'all have been doing lives talking about how trash the Clippers are. Luka Doncic finished that game with 33 points, 13 rebounds, 4 turnovers, shooting 42% from the field, 33% from the three-point line. Kyrie Irving was a monster. He was a flat-out monster in that game, and he hit that baseline change of direction where he adjusted the layup, the reversal. I was like, oh my God. But as I was watching the game, it became painfully apparent to me that Luka Doncic can only score against the Clippers in 2 ways. Just 2 ways. If you go back and look at the highlights of that game, or if you remember back to watching that game just now, the 2 ways Luka scored the predominant amount of his points was on what? They would either do like a double screen or a triple screen to get a guard off of him, a big guard of 4 like Paul George, James Harden, these guys off of him, to get the mismatch with a big like Ivica Zubac. Or he would search for a smaller guard like a Norman Powell to get a post up and then try to post him up, because Norman Powell is quick enough to stay with him on the perimeter. He has enough lateral quickness. He doesn't have the strength. But if he's not exploiting that particular matchup, Luka is not really feasting on the Clippers. Now, is he? Luka is feasting on that screen or pick and roll, whatever the hell you want to call it, when he gets to switch on Zubac. But what happened? What was the adjustment that Ty Lue made today? Shout out to the 700 people we got in the chat. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit the likes. Let's try to get the likes to 300 likes. Ty Lue did something interesting. In that first quarter, not only did Ty Lue and James devise a game plan with James Harden, where he had Ivica Zubac rolling hard to the rim, but Ivica Zubac was putting so much pressure on the rim that they forced the hand of the Mavericks to essentially have to keep Ivica Zubac on the floor. He was gobbling up all the rebounds. He was the one that set the Dallas Mavericks didn't really have any interior defense, at least to deal with Zubac. That was worth bragging about. One win over Denver and one over Miami. I agree with you. Excuse me. Thing I noticed about Luka, he can't really score on some of the more skilled defense. Media likes to portray it because if you listen to Shannon Sharp and all of these, they're Kawhi Leonard like it was, well, Kawhi ain't even play. And speaking of Kawhi Leonard, how do the Dallas Mavericks lose to the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard? Let's talk about that. Lose to the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. Explain that to me. Just a second here. Yeah, how about now? Can y'all hear me now? So back to the point. How do the Dallas Mavericks lose Clippers? How does that happen? Explain that to me. How does it happen? Kawhi Leonard doesn't play, and they still lose. Had the Clippers been the one that had Kawhi Leonard, but instead they lost against the Mavs without Luka Doncic, they would have been telling them to basically sell the team. That's what they would have been saying. 1 second, somebody talking about live. 1 second. Okay, we got that fixed. Don't worry about that. Let me know how it's going. Just a second here. Let me just see real quick. You know, this ain't happened when I was talking about the Lakers. I don't know what happened. Let me see. All right, so y'all let me know. So yeah, as I was saying, how does that happen? Because the way I'm looking at this series is, if the Dallas Mavericks cannot beat the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard, how the hell are they supposed to beat this team with him? All I kept on hearing from people that was picking Dallas was, because I said to them, they kept on saying Luka dominates the Clippers. I'm like, Luka never beat the Clippers in the playoffs ever. And they were like, well, now he got more help now. Well, he did have more help. Kyrie Irving scored 30 points or 33 points in that game. How they still lose? To me, I think this was a psychological blow to the Dallas Mavericks for a few reasons. Reason number one is, usually, if you're the road team in a series, the best game to steal is the first game of a series. That's usually the best game you steal, the first game, when you catch your opponent off. The Mavs not only did the first game without Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard will be coming back on game 2, because Kawhi, I think game 2 is on Tuesday. So how did they go? How did they go about coverage of the game? I want to talk about ESPN's coverage. As I was watching that game, Richard Jefferson and these guys were basically trying to find ways to bring the Dallas Mavericks back into the game. Well, you know, the Dallas Mavericks, if they only did this there, if they only did that there, and I'm like, yo, hold up. The Clippers are playing without their best player, choking away this game. Why is the commentary all about, if they just get one run and they get two stops, who knows? It may be a game. Why was Mavericks choked away game one against a team without their best player? Bro is twerking it up for one game. Chill, bro. It's just one game. Hey, listen, I'm doing exactly what the media would have been doing had it been just one game. If it would have been the Lakers, some of them would have been talking about, is LeBron about to pass Michael Jordan? That's what they would have been saying after one game to 300 likes. That's what they would have been saying. So hell yeah, I'm going to make a big deal out of it. I want to get to another point real quick. I want to talk about that flagrant foul on Ivica Zubac with that they called against Maxi. Was it Kleba? Whatever. Let me get the player's name right. Against Kleba. Let me get his name right. Maxi Kleber in the third quarter. These guys are boxing out for a free throw, for a rebound, excuse me. If you look at the replay, Kleber has his forearm on the back of the neck of Ivica Zubac. And Ivica Zubac is pushed down so far that he reaches around to basically get the guy off of his neck. And then they stop the game to talk about they're going to assess Ivica Zubac a flagrant foul. You got Richard Jefferson up there talking about, well, yeah, man, that looked pretty serious to me. That looked pretty serious to me. I don't know what's going on. What was that about? Were they trying to find a way to get Mavericks back into the game? What was that about? I was looking at the play. I'm like, well, you know, this is a flagrant reaching for the neck. I'm like, he had his forearm on the back of his neck. And they didn't see that. He should get the game ball for the Clippers. I think he was the MVP. Scored 20 points with 15, 1 steal, 1 assist on 59% shooting from the field. Opinion should have been the MVP of that game. Ivica Zubac was the MVP of that game. He was the MVP of that game. So to me, I was really, really for James Harden. James Harden showed up in that game and he scored 28 points. Everybody had been beaten up. Oh, James Harden can't perform. James Harden ain't going to do this. James Harden ain't going to do that. James Harden played well. We got to give him his props. So to me, man, I think that was a very, very big win for the Clippers. Very, very excited. We got another show that's dropping a little bit later today. Some people talking about the internet. So with that, I had a lot of fun, and we're going to catch y'all during the week. Y'all have a good one.